Hello everybody, what is going on? My name is Steggy and this is a comprehensive review of the level 3 pack for MetaThreads. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to subscribe for more great content. If you'd like to help support my channel for absolutely free and check out recommended products for gaming or content creation, check out my Amazon page at amazon.com/shop/Steggy. If you follow me on Twitter, you'll know that I've been traveling for quite a bit recently. Back in November, I visited my family in Boston for a few weeks for Thanksgiving, and then I went over to the Elgato Gaming headquarters in Munich, Germany for about a month before I went back to visit my family for Christmas. Then right after that, there was PAX South in Texas, but now here I am, I'm back in San Francisco. Now what's great is, before I went off to travel for all that time, Mike G and Steve from MetaThreads sent me the level 3 pack. Which is awesome because, I was traveling for a while, I was, packing heavy, and I really needed a bag that could hold everything that I wanted and also just protect everything, because when I go to an event or anything, I always bring my camera and a few lenses, as well as my Nintendo Switch if I want to play during a long plane ride. And so I really just wanted a backpack that could fit a bunch in it, but also in a smart, sensible way so I could easily access everything. And that's what this bag offers for me. Now, if you don't know who MetaThreads is a company spawned by HK Army, who produces paintball gear, and MetaThreads is sort of the esports brand for HK Army. Now, the level 3 pack is definitely coined as being really versatile no matter what your use case is, but you'll definitely see callouts to the esports industry with things like the patchwork panels, where you can stick on a logo in the Velcro areas on the arm strap as well as the face of the bag, which is really cool. But while I see that, you can use this for esports, there are other backpacks like the Astro Scout bag, which will do a really good job for esports as well. However, when I saw the level 3 pack, a light bulb went off in my head and I thought, this is great for content creators, because content creators are traveling with multiple lenses and their bodies and their microphones and everything like that. And this kind of compartmentalization, paired with the fact that you can take some of these paddings out and have truly a ton of space, just seems perfect for the traveling content creator. And that's what really drew my eyes toward it. Now, for the past while, I've been using the Astro Scout bag. I actually put up a video of it probably like 8 years ago at this point. So that backpack is still going strong, and it's almost 10 years old now, so I have to commend it for its quality. But, as I've kind of grown up, back in 2010, I was kind of in the esports scene when I was working for MLG at their events, so I was bringing like a few things. But now that I work for Elgato Gaming, and, most of my job at an event is content production, I definitely need to bring my video equipment with me. And when I traveled with my Scout backpack, I just felt like I was tossing the camera into the main pouch with a few lenses, and when you're dealing with expensive equipment, you really don't want it to be rattling around like that. Now, if you've ever seen my review on the Astro Scout bag, you'll see that it can fit a lot of stuff. However, it does have very specific use cases for the different pockets, and the design hasn't changed since 2010. If you look on their website, they still have stock photos that are showing an Xbox 360 being shoved into the main compartment. But I think that just the scene has changed, where people aren't necessarily bringing their consoles to places for LAN parties. I mean, in fact, the biggest esports platform is PC now, so people are bringing their keyboards and everything. So for me, when I traveled, I have this huge compartment that can fit an Xbox 360, and I'm using it just for my MacBook. And because I don't want anything to scratch my MacBook, I'm not going to have anything in that compartment. So there's some wasted space in there, and, just pockets that don't make sense for a lot of people anymore, like the controller pouches. So I've been looking for a new backpack, because while that bag has worked for me quite well for most use cases, I didn't like that my camera would rattle around in that main compartment. And I also felt that for what I was putting in this bag, it was quite bulky, because with these backpacks, and this included, and it's one of the first things I'll get into right now, is that this and the Astro Scout bag are not personal items when you're traveling on an airplane. And what I mean by that is, even if you're in economy plus, or whatever, premium economy, you can't really put this in the seat in front of you, especially if you're on a long haul flight, because it's just going to stick out, and then you're not going to have any place to put your legs. So for me, I've been checking my bags more, so I can normally have a carry-on and a small backpack, but with the Astro Scout bag, or the level 3, it's definitely more of a piece of luggage, and that's kind of a point that'll be driving home a little bit throughout this video, is this is more of a piece of luggage to me versus a quick access backpack. So anyway, with the Astro Scout bag, I felt like for what it was providing me at this point in my life, it wasn't worth having to check my bag. So for a little while, I actually went with like a very non-rigid, like almost like a Herschel backpack, but just from a different brand, just because if I took out the laptop and I just had the camera body in there and then a few other things, then it was small enough to shove completely under the seat, so I can stretch my legs out. And when I'm on an 11-hour flight or sometimes a 16-hour flight, that's really huge. So that's something to consider right there, and one of the things that kind of drove me back towards this. So before I ramble on too much longer, let's just take a look inside the bag. I want to show you some of the setups that I currently have for it and how I'm using it, and maybe it might give you a little bit of an idea whether this backpack is for you. Alright, so here's the front of the backpack right here. There's three main sections. You have the Velcro panel, so you can customize with custom patches that are Velcroed onto here. You have this pass-through pocket here, so if you swing the bag on your right arm or your left, you just unzip this zipper and you can grab whatever you need from here. And then you have this bottom pouch, which can hold quite a bit. I actually have 2 batteries right there. I have my iPhone charger, so I can use the USB port to its advantage with these battery packs, as well as a home plug for when I reach a hotel and I'm ready to charge in the wall. I always keep a backup set of earbuds when I travel in case my headphones either break or I lose them, which has happened recently. So that's everything that you have in here, and you can see that I pulled the USB cord out. This is the USB cord that you plug into your battery pack. Then you throw this back in here, throw everything back in here, and then you have the USB port right there for charging your phone or other devices. Now, if you also see on here, you have a little drink holder on both sides, right there. And so you can't really fit giant water bottles or anything in here. But what I found is actually really cool that you can throw in here are Joby tripods. So that's actually a really cool feature. So now if we look towards the top of this bag, I'm going to unzip this guy right here, and you have a sunglass pouch. So you can fit sunglasses and some a lot of coins there. And basically everything is nice and protected. So I was able to fit sunglasses with a case in here. So you have these 2 little buckles on each side. Meta told me that it's basically meant if you have this like, you know, really like overstuffed bag that you can kind of keep it slimmed down with these. I don't really see that personally. I think it's sort of unnecessary. So we have the main compartment here. So there's not a whole lot of actual depth. Like you can reach in the bottom here. And so I just have my charger. I try to keep this fairly light as far as what I'm storing in there. So I have my charger here. You can keep, you know, for me, I throw my external hard drives in these 2 pockets with the cords and everything. It's able to fit that really easily. And then you have an actual, like, almost stash pocket here. Let's see if you can see that. And you can actually, you can throw an actual, like, small tablet in here. I don't really use it for that because there's not, like, a lot of padding for it, but it is kind of like a nice little stash pocket. And then at the bottom here, you have one more double compartment here that I currently don't have anything in just because, you know, I'm not currently traveling right now, but you can fit a lot in here, and it really doesn't add too much bulk to the bag. In this zipper, it's a little mesh zipper right here that I have a bunch of Mac accessories, so you can fit quite a lot in there. And then at the bottom, you have one more mesh zipper where you can fit plenty. Now, if you extend this is actually where I threw my iPad when I travel, but you can also just throw a notebook in there as well, and you can even do a combination thereof. And then you have these 2 smaller pouches here, which you can actually fit full PS4, Xbox One games in, which is nice. Then you have the little top laptop pouch here, where you have these little straps for a 17-inch laptop, and you have these straps for a 15 or 13-inch laptop. So as you can see here, I have my MacBook. This is a 15-inch MacBook, and this will just easily drop right in here, and then you can use these straps to secure it in place. So in case you forgot to zip up your bag, this is going to catch your laptop from falling. Now, one thing to keep in mind is if you have a ginormous laptop like this 17-inch Asus ROG, you're not actually going to be able to slip it in this main compartment here. But what you can do is you can place it on this outside compartment here, and you could very easily close your bag. Maybe not super easily, maybe zip the other zipper. It's a little bit of a tight fit, but you can, in fact, put one of those tank laptops in here, no problem. All right, as we go to the back, we can see this 2 arm straps here. You have a little buckle here so you can have these closer to your chest so they're not kind of spread out. You have another Velcro patch here so you can put another patch right there and customize your backpack so you know it's yours. So let's unbuckle this. So you have to flip these arms back, which can sometimes they can get in the way, but once you do that, this is essentially like a zippered door. You just unzip it like that, and you open it, and you've got everything here. Now, there is an extra divider here that I took out so I could have 2 long rectangular compartments. So I'll try to show you a little bit of what I got going on here. And so, as you can see, I had this bag open, and I was kind of jostling it around, and the stuff inside kind of got jostled all over the place. This was actually here, and then I had this camera body right here. But I'm just gonna try and give you an idea of the kind of things that you can fit here. So I have a couple of pieces of my wireless lav kit right here. So I have my microphone, my receiver, and my transmitter. So that goes in, no problem at all. I can also put my Rode shotgun mic right in here, and as well as the light. I could also put extra brackets and everything if I want to. And so you can sort of see how much room there is in depth if I have this case for my switch here. So I'll, just for the bottom, I put my switch here. And in their video, they show that you can put your shoes if you maybe raise this up a bit. You could have shoes and clothing in here, or just kind of a combination of everything. And then you have the camera equipment. So I just have, so when I travel, I have my body with 1 lens attached. That's the lens that I'm using for this other body. So that would go right here. This might not work for everybody. I use the Canon SL2 when I travel just because it's so compact and it's able to fit in there very easily. So that's what I use that for. And then in this pocket, I generally have my pancake lens and my 50mm lens. This one doesn't fit them quite as easily. Now, the thing I don't get, and I forgot to ask Meta this when I saw them last weekend, is they come with these little stretchy band things, and I'm not really sure what the reason is for, except maybe to try and get stuff to not come out. When I opened it, it just seemed a little out of place. So if you can kind of see everything here, what I really like about this, besides the fact that you can just sort of change where everything is I like this little double wing Velcro pattern on every wall here, because it allows you to basically have it, stick there and be really durable. Now, what I don't like about these walls, and I don't know if you can tell this, but they're actually not that thick. They're a little flimsy. So it's definitely cardboard in here, and it just doesn't hold its shape. So when I am traveling, or if I'm just using this bag and it's upright, every pocket's like this, and that's just going to cause smaller things to tumble into the next pocket over. So request list for the next version of this product is definitely have a piece of wood or plastic as the actual hard piece in here, so it doesn't curve around as much, because I really don't like that this sags so much and that it doesn't hold its shape. So the sides and everything hold really good, but whatever this is, it's just it's not as good. Then lastly, for the main compartment, we have this little kind of like a rigid back, so it can hold its shape a little bit better. It's not uncomfortable. There's a decent bit of padding right here, if you can see that. But if you look, you have a couple of zippered pockets. I use these for maybe extra cords, I have little adapters for my battery charger in case somebody has USB-C. or mini USB and needs to borrow a battery. I also keep more small SSDs in here for use, and you could also throw like your cell phone in here or whatever you might need. So you can fit quite a lot in here. I don't have this nearly as full, but it is definitely very capable because of all these compartments. So now that we've seen what the inside of the backpack looks like and just sort of taken a tour around, I want to give you some of my thoughts on it and especially some opportunities. Now, the number one backpack you're going to compare this to is the Astro Scout Bag. And for good reason, just because they're both in the esports space as well as general gaming space. So a lot of these things are going to be sort of comparative to one another, but mainly for the quality. So the quality of the level 3 pack is sufficient, but it's definitely not as good as the Astro Bag, which is surprising considering the Astro Bag is the cheaper of the two. Now, some of the things that might not make a difference is some of the materials. Now, the Astro Scout Bag is made out of ballistic nylon, where this is more of like a waterproof, I don't want to say like raincoat material, but this is actually really good, and I have no problem with this material. It's different than Astro's, but I wouldn't say either is better or worse, because this definitely repels rain, which is great, and that's its job. Now, the thing that I dislike about the quality of this bag is if I go into this pocket here and it goes all the way up here, so you can hear that whatever material is backing this Velcro is definitely kind of cheap feeling and cheap sounding. And it's just something you kind of wouldn't expect from a backpack that's almost $200. The other quality piece of the level 3 pack versus the Astro Scout Bag is the arms. So the quality or the material isn't bad on the level 3 pack, but if you're comparing it against the Scout Bag does have more plush in the arm, which if you have a lot of weight, which is very easy to get to a very heavy bag with this. I just wish that this had a little bit of more of that like plush padding feeling like the Astro Scout Bag did, because I really packed this thing up. As far as outside features versus the Scout Bag, just kind of wins hands down. I mean, first off, you have the easy to access USB port on the side, which is great. If you have a battery pack with you, it just goes in the front pocket, and then you can plug your phone in there, and so you don't have to carry around a battery pack and phone in your pocket, which is sort of like making your pants sag and everything like that. So it is a nice feature for a content creator. Now, a big feature that doesn't seem that big until you think about it, that separates this from the Astro Bag, is the Velcro panels here. Now, as much as I don't like the sound of it, these serve a really good purpose, especially the arm strap one too. Now, the problem with Astro Gaming is that the Astro Scout Bag is this really amazing backpack that's been sold very well for the past 8 years. If you go to a gaming event, an esports event like MLG, or if you go to DreamHacks or you go to PAXs, you will see so many people wearing the Astro Scout Bag. Now, when I used to work at MLG, we'd have a pile of these backpacks and we'd never be able to tell whose is who. Now, that is pretty much solved by something as simple as just a Velcro panel, because I can easily make a custom patch online that's got Velcro on the back and slap it on here, and that's going to distinguish my backpack from everybody else's. Now, Astro could fix this if they just added Velcro stuff in a different iteration, or just kind of released a different edition of the Scout period, because again, it's been the same black ballistic nylon backpack for almost 10 years, so you just run into it a lot when you go to these gaming events like I do. Now, the one thing that I don't think I'm 100% sold with is the main compartment being on the back side of the backpack. Now, the thing with the level 3 pack is that it does so well approaching every different type of backpack that there currently is out there, that when you have these people who, for me, I look at it as a camera bag, and then when I see it, I'm like, man, I really wish it had a quick access pocket for me to grab my camera out of it, and that's a feature that plenty of camera bags have. But because this is kind of like getting that, hitting all fronts for backpacks, it doesn't have, because if I were a gamer, that feature would be completely lost to me. So instead of being like an A plus camera bag or just an A plus in size bag or whatever, it's like, trying to get like a B plus or A minus and all around, which is completely respectable. But there are just features that I would like to see. So like, an example of this very similar design is the in-case DSLR Pro backpack. It actually has the same main compartment on the back side, but it does have a quick release or a quick access pocket so I could grab a body if I wanted to. So for somebody like me who has such a specific use case of a DSLR that I bring around with me, that could be an option. But it still has some of the same shortcomings where if you're trying to grab other stuff, you still have to, take it apart. And that's like the biggest thing for me, or what I'm trying to drive home, in that this is a piece of luggage versus like a backpack or a sack. Because if I want to get something out of this backpack in the main compartment, I have to physically put it down, unzip the door, open it, and then grab my items out of it. If I have it standing up like this and I try to do stuff will fall out either completely out of the backpack or into different compartments where I don't want that to happen. And if I swing my backpack like this on my arm, if I open the main compartment, there's not a whole lot that I can reach in there for, because you're dealing with this much from an accessibility point, from this position. Now, if you have your bag in this position, the best pocket is this little double pass-through, which is really great because if I swing it on my right shoulder, I can access this side. If I do it the other way, I can get this side of the pocket. So this is a really well thought out pocket that at first I was confused at its purpose, but after actually using this backpack, it's amazing when I travel and I just want to quickly swing my bag around, throw my passport and my wallet and my phone in here while I go through security, and then I can just easily grab it out of there. And then I also use this pocket, because the battery doesn't take up a whole lot of room, so I use this pocket for a lot of quick access stuff too. But when you're dealing with two small pockets or like one really thin main compartment or front compartment, which most of the time I'd be getting a laptop. And that's one of those things where if I have a laptop, I'm ready to sit. So that's when it makes sense to set this down, because I'm going to be sitting on my laptop and I don't need this anymore. So I wish that they could turn this whole front into a door, open it up like that way, and then you see it, and then put the backpack part or the laptop part on the back side like most backpacks do, or that have laptops and cameras in there. And that would be really nice to see. But as it stands, with everything considered, the level 3 pack is definitely a winner in my book. It is the backpack that I'm currently using and that I'm going to continue using. The only other backpack that I think that would fit me personally is the in-case DSLR Pro backpack. But that is definitely more for like a specialized kind of thing. I don't know if my Nintendo Switch would fit in there like it can fit in here, or if like my headphones, my Switch, and my camera can fit in there. So, these are all things to consider. So, this is a great travel backpack. You just have to be aware that you're not going to be reaching into it too often for these quick access things. Anyway, if you have any thoughts on the level 3 pack, or if you have any questions, if there's something that I missed in this video of the level 3 pack by MetaThreads, please don't hesitate to leave a comment down below. I will do my best to answer all that I can. Once again, my name is Steggy, and until my next video, I will catch you guys later.